Baby Tech Girls, Networking 101. I'm going to be going over the basics of your home networking. We're going to be looking at things like this, which is a TP link. Sorry, I got to do it backwards here. TP link router, and we've got the back here. We're going to be looking at this. I've got some whiteboard information that I'm going to show you, so that's part of what we're going to do. And I also have one of these, so this is going to essentially be our, we'll say this is our modem from our ISP. It is not, but we'll say that it is, right? So we've got a couple of devices that we are going to look at today, and I've got my whiteboard that's going to help us out. I want to talk to you about networking basics. One of the things I would like to stress right from the get-go is in years past, before all these new operating systems came out, before we had the advancement of Windows 7, Windows 8, 10, the Mac operating systems, which have pretty much incorporated a plug and play type of networking environment. What I need everybody to remember is that network environment is still on a very basic level. There are people out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. They are network administrators and they know this stuff inside and out, okay? If you're a network administrator and not making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, don't call me. But I just know for a fact that the people that are doing network administration have studied many years. They know the ins and the outs of networking, but this is just to get you started. Okay, this is for purposes of maybe somebody has disconnected your network in your house. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're painting a room. These cables needed to be disconnected, and then you need to reconnect, and all of a sudden, so now we've got this device, right? And you're going, what do I do with it? So I'm going to explain in these ports to you. I'm going to just be doing the basics. We're not going to connect into the router in today's show. That will be another show down the road. So this is just going to get you going. I'm going to explain everything and put it into layman's terms for you, and then we will take it from there. Okay, so let's switch over. Let's look at the whiteboard and okay, so here we are. We've switched over to the whiteboard. And with the whiteboard, I am going to show you some basic sort of nomenclature and setup for your home internet. All right, and I'm just going to explain a few things sort of in layman's terms, and hopefully you will understand it better. So when you get your internet connection from your ISP, which is your internet service provider, that is this area over here. Okay, so this is coming in from the street, essentially. That's where you've got your wires underground or above ground, however they've done it. And you've called them up and you have said, so your internet service provider, you would like to have internet into your house. So once they have you hooked up outside at the road, what you are going to get is most of the time, 9 times out of 10, a service technician will come in and they're going to have a modem with them. Okay, so this modem here is what is going to allow you to use the internet signal within your house. Right, so if I come here and let's just pick a new color. Let's go with yellow, sort of a yellow color. Okay, oh, well, that didn't work very well, did it? Let's erase that. It's a little bit big. All right, so I'm going to, that's a really ugly color, wasn't it? Sort of use this color. Bring that over there. Okay. So this is inside your house. Okay. So let's make a little box here. It shows that this is in your, so this is your, ignore the icon bouncing around at the bottom. It's just telling me that something is done. Okay, so this is your house. This is your modem that has been given to you by your internet service provider. And this is a router. You may need one, you may not need one, to continue sending the signal through your house if you run out of room. So the modem, let's draw the back of the modem here. Now in most cases, the backs of the modems they've got colored ports on them. And I'll show you up close with the hardware after. But this is the back of the modem, okay? And you're going to have some ports, so they're holes. Essentially, they're holes in the back of the modem. It differs. Some have 3, some have 4, some have 6, depending on A, the price you pay, and B, really what you need it for. Okay? So we're going to call those 1 through 4. And then over here, I'm going to use red. I want to just make this stand out a little bit better. And this, well, that didn't turn red, did it? There we go. This here is the port, like your front door, okay? So this is actually the internet port. I'm not using a pen here, I'm using my hand. Internet port is here, right here. All right, so your ISP is your internet. Okay, and that is going to go into your modem, which is right here. Okay, so this is where it's going. That internet line is into this port on the back, your internet port. It's almost like putting the house key in your front door, right? So you open up with a key, okay? Let's just say that's a key. Okay, that's a key. So you put that in there, and now you've unlocked it. And once you've unlocked it by putting this ISP internet, these are now working. Okay? You may not have anything plugged into them, but this information essentially comes, one goes to there, one goes to there, one goes to there, and one goes to there. So you have now activated these 4 ports. You need to remember that you're only ever going to have one, just one, internet connection in the back of your modem. Okay? So like I said, we've put the key in, so we've taken our ISP, we've taken the cable, which will be a blue cable, a red cable, a green cable, doesn't matter what color it is, they all do the same thing. We take that and we plug it into our port, which once it's plugged in, we've essentially unlocked the front door. You're going to see some green lights and some red lights on the front, right? You're also going to have a green light on the front, so that's going to show you that it is working. Okay, so now these all have internet signals going to them, so when you are ready to use them and put a device into them, it will work. So let's just say over here, I'm going to just change my color, and let's say this is a smart TV. Okay. Right. I need to connect my TV and the internet. So first thing I'm going to do is say, oh, you know what, I have a port here, and I am going to plug the cable in. So now I'm going to take that because we know it has internet, and I'm going to plug the cable into it there. Okay. This is an in. Right, and these are out. So the signal goes in, and then the signal comes out. This is an out as well. Alright, so pretty self-explanatory. Now I have a smart device. Now, you need to remember that sometimes you will get a modem from an ISP, and it will have Wi-Fi in it. Okay, so when it has Wi-Fi in it, you can also connect these devices if they are Wi-Fi enabled to here. Right, so I can say I'll just put this here for Wi-Fi. Right, so we'll just say, I know that's a ground, I did that backwards, but this is going to be our Wi-Fi. Okay. Now you can use Wi-Fi without having any of these connected. Right, so your internet in, so this is your ISP. ISP is over here, and that goes in, right? So like I said, this is your internet. ISP goes in. Once you bring that internet in, this Wi-Fi will automatically be active. You may have to set it up. You may have to go in there and put some settings, but that will automatically be active at that point. Also, these will be active as well. All right, so let's also say that, and I'm going to go back to this color here. I've got a TV, and then I've got, let's say, a laptop, maybe. Right, so maybe this is a laptop. Okay, and then I'm going to connect that there. Now I can have 10 devices over here on Wi-Fi. That's not a problem, right? I can have a phone. Right, so I can have a phone here. So that's Wi-Fi. Okay, and then I can have maybe an iPad, and that's Wi-Fi. Okay, so I can get as many devices as I want onto the Wi-Fi. And again, I'll just put the blue around that just so we know that those are Wi-Fi devices. Okay, so you can have as many as you want. Now what happens is, let's say we filled these up. So before you get to number 4, and this is the front, this is the back. We need to set this router up, right? So what our router is going to do for us is it's going to give us extra outputs. So extra devices can be connected. All right. So again, this input is going to also be on your router. Now that could be, they are not necessarily some of them are gray, some of them are red, some of them are yellow. So let's just say that this one's yellow, just so you understand that they're not always the same. Okay, and this is we're gonna do this a little bit backwards. So this is internet, and then these are, again, okay, so now we've got 4. So in order to get the internet working in our router, we need to, again, unlock the front door. Okay, so our ISP is here, and we only have one connection coming in from our ISP. We only have one cable, right? We don't have 2, so we can't go here and plug essentially down here. We can't do it. All we have to work with is this modem. Okay, so we have brought our main line into our modem, and we've gone into our input, so we have that here, right? ISP internet comes into here. Now we have our 4 outputs, so we've got 3 of them used, let's just say. Just for argument's sake, let's just put something here, and let's just put a Cody box, right? Cody box. Okay, so that's full now. In order to activate the router, what are we going to do? So if we think about it for a second, we need to open the front door to our router, right? And what do we need to do? We need to bring the internet. So I am going to take this port right here, okay? Could be any of the 4. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be any of these here. And I'm going to plug in the cable to my internet port. Now, instantly, these are alive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you only need 1 cable. So you have 1 cable going to the modem. You have 1 cable going into the router. So if we just left that exactly like this, 1 cable coming in to the internet, 1 going out, and 1 going in to the router, you would still have your 3 open ports on this modem, if we look at this example, because your input goes over here, and you would still have 4 open spots on your router because the internet is going into the input. All right, so that's fairly easy to, it maybe looks slightly confusing right now, but it's fairly easy to see that you've got some devices here, but at the end of the day, all we want to do is bring the internet service provider signal, the internet modem, and use 1 of our output ports and take that and put it to the input for the internet on our router. Okay, so these are all outputs, right? And again, so these are all outs. Again, you can have your devices. One thing I'm going to suggest to you is you can use a modem and a router without any issue at all. If both devices, your modem and your router, have Wi-Fi, I would suggest you deactivate your Wi-Fi in here in your modem. Okay, modems 9 times out of 10 are refurbished, and their Wi-Fi that are in them, they're not very good. The signal strength isn't very good, so the device itself isn't a great device, as I say, because they're 9 times out of 10 they're refurbished. So if that is the case, use your modem for means of hardwiring, and then use your router for your Wi-Fi. All right. In order to do that, just make sure you disconnect the Wi-Fi within your modem. That'll be another video for down the road. So you disconnect the Wi-Fi in the modem, and then you activate the Wi-Fi within the router. All right. So I hope that sort of explains it to you. Now I'm just going to switch back. We're going to take a look at the actual hardware here to finish off, so you can take this actual whiteboard that I have created and you can relate it to the 2 devices that I have here, so you can see exactly how things work. All right, guys, so hopefully this is pretty self-explanatory, and now let's switch back and I will show you the hardware. All right, guys, so take a look at this. I'll show you as easily as I can. We have, let's move these out of the way here. So this is a D-Link aftermarket router, and there are a lot of cases that you get routers and modems from your ISP. There are some out on the market where you can actually substitute, so take out the modem that was given to you by your ISP and replace it with one of these. This isn't actually one that you can replace it with, but it just wanted to explain that there are some out on the market. So when you call your ISP and talk to them, ask them what modem there is that you can replace it with the one of these D-Links or a Netgear or something, so you have a top quality. All right, so what do we have here? We have some ports. I got to do everything backwards here. So we have some ports. So you can see here we have our ports that are outputs. Okay, so they were the ones that we were showing. They go out to your devices. So 1 through 4, they are going to be going to your computer, your Kodi box, anything like that. So they also would go to one of these ports, probably the one. I like to use the one at the end just because I like to keep it clean, but that's entirely up to you guys. That would be the one that connects to your other router. Okay, and then here we have where the power goes in and a reset button. So there's the power, that's the reset button. If you reset these, everything goes back to default. You would have to set everything up, including your Wi-Fi again. Then I have a USB port, so that comes in handy if you need to upgrade the firmware. Anything like that, you can just put the USB in there and you can do a download directly to the router, and then you're back up and running. So they call that flashing the router. And this, guys, is your input from the internet. So this one is gray, some are yellow. That is your main input. Now I think on this other one over here, just for an example, that was a D-Link. This is a TP-Link. So the front, we have some nice little lights that are going to light up once this is running. Okay, so we have globes. If the globe is green, it'll tell you that you're online. If it's orange, tells you you're not online. Each one of these little icons here would tell you if you're active. So if you have a cable plugged into number 1 and you're using it, it would be green, that type of thing. And then you've got your green globe here. And then on the back. Okay, so we have our ports 1 through 4 again. We have our resets and our power. You'd only need to reset it if something happened. Maybe power went out, it didn't reset, something like that. Maybe somebody was playing around with it. This is your input. So that one would either, if you were using it as your main modem, that's where the internet connection would be connected to. And if you were using it as a secondary device in the loop, your modem would have a cable plugged into the output, and it would come into the blue on this device, so that would daisy chain them together. Alright, so you could have 2 devices. Like I say, this is a TP-Link, pretty basic, and that is sort of the, in a nutshell, how your basic networking, your home networking goes together. So like I said, if somebody comes along and, like I said, maybe you're moving, maybe you're painting, maybe you're just changing things around in a room, those are the cables you're going to need to connect. Keep everything clean. Start from scratch. Don't have cables that are half plugged in. You don't know where they go. Just take everything out. Start with that one cable that comes in from the internet service provider. So that's the main area of your house, and that area obviously would be where the line comes in. So sometimes bedrooms are wherever's easiest for them, that's where they bring the line into. Okay, and we're not going to get into range extending or anything like that. I'm not even going to log into the router interface. I just wanted to show you the whiteboard, and I wanted to give you an idea of the very basics of networking. So I hope that has helped you. I hope it's a little bit of an explanation. I don't want to confuse anybody. I would love to hear your feedback on this. So savvytechgirl@gmail.com. if you can send me a direct message on Twitter at Savvy Tech Girl. My blog I update once a week, so savvytechgirl.com, and find me on Facebook,